Good day, everyone. We are the fifth group, and we will now be discussing Unit 5, the teacher as an organizational leader. At the end of the discussion, students will be able to describe leadership and other related concepts, compare and contrast various types, approaches, and models of leadership, and demonstrate knowledge and understanding of leadership and the nature of its administrative work.
Hello everyone, I am Rhea Cholse Bilolong and I will be explaining to you the first part of our report in which we will be defining leadership. So, what is leadership? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think what is leadership. Okay. So, if your definition of leadership is about a multifaceted endeavor, so that is correct. So, leadership means a skill that has many parts. So, what does leadership involve? So, what do you think? So, leadership involves being able to influence others. So, this means that leaders have the ability to inspire and guide people, encouraging them to follow a shared goal or purpose. So, this isn't about forcing people but rather convincing them to work together toward common aims, right? So, leadership involves having influence. The second part is it gives guidance or direction. So, giving direction. So leaders provide clear guidance on what needs to be done. So they set priorities, organize tasks, and help others understand their roles. So making it easier for everyone to contribute effectively, right? So leadership involves guidance or giving direction. So the third one is they can create clear goal or vision. So creating a clear goal or vision. So leaders can see the big picture, always sees the big pictures and define a specific meaningful goal for the group. So this vision gives people something to work toward and motivates them. So, leadership involves what? Vision. So, they can create a clear goal or vision. The fourth one is leadership can demonstrate adaptability. So, adapting to changes. So, what does this mean? So situation often shifts, right? So whether because of new information, unexpected challenges, or evolving goals. So good leaders stay flexible, always stay flexible, adjusting to plans as needed while keeping the team moving forward. And the next one is in leadership, it involves in exercising their emotional intelligence. So they should be able to understand the people's feelings, right? So leaders always recognize and respect others' emotions, which helps them build trust and resolve conflicts right away. So understanding how people can make leaders more approachable and supportive. So, leadership involves having emotional intelligence. Okay. Next is in leadership, it also demonstrates ethical responsibility. So, what does this mean? So, leaders are expected to make fair and honest decisions that respect the values of the group and do the right thing even if it's difficult. So, leadership involves ethical responsibility. And then in leadership, it also involves being committed to continuous learning. So, this means that strong leaders never stop improving. So, they seek new knowledge, skills, and ideas to become better at leading and to adapt to the challenging world around them. So, leadership involves continuous learning. And then the last one is leadership possess sensitivity to various contexts, okay? So handling different situations. So this means that leaders often face a variety of situations, some of which are complex or challenging, right? So good leaders are prepared to respond thoughtfully using their experience and also their judgment to guide others. So these are the qualities and values are central to what leadership involves. It involves influence, guidance, vision, adaptability, emotional intelligence, ethical responsibility, continuous learning, and context sensitivity. And with that, leadership is not confined to those in official roles, rather, it can be exhibited by individuals at all levels within an organization or community. So, what does this mean? So, leadership is not, you must remember that is not limited to people who have formal titles or position like managers or executives or president or vice president. So instead, anyone in a group, organization, or an individual who's living in a community can show leadership. So, leadership qualities. So, even without a specific titles, individuals like you can still guide, support, and inspire others around them, right? So, you just have to put that in your heart, though, even if you don't know, if you don't have a title, holding a title, you should know that you possess a leadership qualities, right? Okay. So now, with that being said, so how do we excel effective leadership? So how do we become an effective leadership? So can we think about it first before proceeding? How? So I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to think about it. Okay. Your opinion is right. So, by understanding and embracing the multifaceted nature of leadership, individuals can cultivate and develop their leadership abilities to positively impact the communities, teams, and organizations. So, what does this mean? So, it means that when people learn about and accept that leadership has many different parts, so they can start building and improving their skills as leaders, right? So by doing this, you as an individual in a community will become better at helping and guiding others, making a positive difference in their team's workplace and the larger community you're living. So similarly to what we call teacher leaders. So what are teacher leaders and what do they do and what do they embody? So teacher leaders are the educators who excel in their teaching practices and take on leadership roles to positively impact their student colleagues and the teaching profession. So what do they embody? So they embody instructional excellence. So they are skilled educators who demonstrate high quality teaching and provide support to their colleagues through mentorship, advocacy, innovation, collaboration, and continuous learning and systematic impact. So their efforts lead to positive changes in their school and communities. So, by embracing the multifaceted nature of teacher leadership, educators can contribute to the improvement of education and serve as a catalyst for positive change in their school and communities. So, do you want, as a pre-service teacher, do you want to be a teacher leader? Okay. So with that, my question is, if leadership is about making an impact as a pre-service teacher, what's holding you back?
So hello everyone, this is Generous T22 and now let's tackle about the nature of administrative work. First is we have the trait approach to leadership. This approach focuses on the personal traits and characteristics associated with effective leadership. Certain inherent qualities like intelligence, confidence, decisiveness, and charisma seem to be important or contribute to effective leadership. However, this perspective has limitation as it fails to consider that situational factors and behaviors also play a crucial role in determining leadership effectiveness. Like for example, we have a leader, and this leader possess a positive trait, possess these inherent qualities, possess these qualities. Like for example, they are naturally intelligent and charismatic. However, they also lacking when in terms to communicating with their peers or with their members. They are also not open to other people's suggestion. They stick to their own ideas and doesn't know how to motivate the team. So even with these positive inherent traits, one cannot be deemed as effective if they lack the ability to communicate effectively, motivate the team, and adapt to certain circumstances. Additionally, cultural context and environmental cues can also affect leadership styles and effectiveness. Even though you think that you have the qualities to become an effective leader, uh, you have these qualities to become an effective leader, but if you have trouble when it comes to leading your people or leading the team effectively, and you are unable to establish a positive relationship with your members and doesn't know how to adapt in certain circumstances, you still need to work on that to become an effective one. Therefore, it is important to recognize that effective leadership is a complex and multifaceted concept that cannot be solely attributed to inherent traits. You also need to tackle, or maybe to connect with your peers, or to connect with your team. So that concludes my part of this report, and I will be now giving the floor to the next reporter.
So good day once again, everyone. I am Orthea Skypan, and I will now be discussing number 2, which is situations and leadership. As the name suggests, the situational approach emphasizes that effective leadership is contingent upon the specific circumstances or situations in which leaders find themselves. So we need to contextualize. Our style of leadership is dependent on our situation. Situational leadership models such as the Hersey-Blanchard model focus on the leader's ability to adjust their level of direction and support based on the maturity or readiness of their followers. So for example, in a crisis management like situation, we would want to have an autocratic or directive leadership style, as in emergency situations where it is crucial to have swift decision making, clear instructions, and control. So in situations like these, the leader really has to step up. And then on the other hand, we have another example. When tasked to come up with innovative projects, one might want to use the democratic or participative leadership style, as to encourage collaboration, idea sharing, and collective decision making. In general, there's more involvement from the members, and it's not just the leader giving out orders. So depending on what the situation calls for, sometimes the leader can be someone who is in full control, and sometimes they can be the servant of their followers, but other times they can also serve as the facilitator.
So good day everyone, this is Anna, and I am going to continue to discuss about the nature of administrative work when it comes to behavior and leadership. But before I'm going to tackle about anything else, let me first discuss to you the definition. And I know that most of you here know the exact definition of, or actually familiar with these words, but let me tell you my insights about this one. First, we have behavior. Behavior refers to the specific action, attitude, and a conduct of a person in a various situation. So when I say various situation, it includes how a person interacts, communicates, and more. Meaning to say that behaviors are often situational, and behaviors can be observable. Meanwhile, the leadership is more about the ability to influence, to guide, and to inspire others achieving common goals. So having leadership meanings it encompasses vision, strategic thinking, critical thinking, and the capacity to gain trust and having a big self-confidence. All right?
So, when behaviors and leadership are significant. So, based on my research, the top answer is during decision making. Leadership and behaviors are critical when administrators make decisions that impact the organization, whether during routine operations or time of change. In these moments, leadership ensures decisions align with the organizational goals, while positive behavior fosters trust. Okay, so where behaviors and leadership matter? Of course, within teams, across departments, public interactions. It is when the administrator's behaviors and leadership style impact the team's efficiency, collaboration, and morale, influencing everything from productivity to employee satisfaction. And of course, with effective communication, professionalism, and leadership in these interactions help build a strong organizational reputation. And lastly, why behaviors and leadership are significant. It is significant in establishing trust and credibility. It enhances efficiency and productivity, and it shapes organizational culture and can drive long term success. Therefore, behaviors and leadership are significant in administrative work because they not only define how tasks are managed, but also how people are led. This dynamic shapes the overall effectiveness, culture, and resilience of an organization. So, strong administrative leaders who prioritize positive behavior set the stage of productivity, motivated teams, and sustainable success.
Good day, everyone. So, today I will talk to you about leadership effectiveness. Leadership effectiveness is about more than just giving orders, it's about inspiring and guiding others towards a shared vision. An effective leader motivates team members, helping them feel valued and enthusiastic about their work. This motivation often leads to increased productivity, job satisfaction, and a positive work culture. So, effective leadership also involves making sound decisions. Leaders often face complex situations that require careful judgments, balancing the needs of the team, the goal, the organization, and stakeholders. Making informed and fair decisions builds trust and respect within the team. Additionally, building effective teams is essential. Strong teams have members who support each other, share ideas openly, and work and work towards a common goal. A leader facilitates this by encouraging collaboration, interaction between the coworkers, resolving conflicts, and creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels comfortable contributing. Ultimately, creating a positive work culture is crucial in order to succeed in your shared goal. A leader inspires, builds trust, and motivates others into helping each other and collaborating into your one goal. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm back. And this time, I'm going to be reporting about the contingency models of leadership. So, before I will proceed discussing this model of leadership, do you have any idea about this leadership? So, I'm going to give you a 5 seconds to think about what kind is contingency models of leadership. Okay, so if you think that the contingency models of leadership proposes that effective leadership depends on the interaction between the leader's traits or behaviors and the situational context, you are right. So let's elaborate more this meaning. So this means that the contingency models of leadership emphasizes that there is no one size fits all approach to leadership. Instead, effective leadership results from aligning leadership styles with situational demands. So let's have a situational example. So here, so Miss Lopez is teaching a group of high school students with different levels of interest and ability in science. Throughout the semester or throughout the grading or quarter, she adapts her teaching style based on the needs of her students. So when introducing complex topics like genetics, she used a directive style approach which she provides structured notes, clear explanations, and guided assignments to help students understand the basics. And then for a group project on environmental science, she shifts on a participative approach, encouraging students to choose their topics and collaborate on ideas which increases their engagement and as well as their teamwork. And then, as exams approaches and stress levels rises, you know, Miss Lopez adopts a supportive style, which she offers extra study session, sharing stress management tips and reassuring her students that they are gonna be okay and they're gonna be excelling the exam. So therefore, with that being said, in line with the contingency models of leadership, Miss Lopez exemplifies contingency leadership by adapting her teaching style to fit i- each phase's needs, guiding, encouraging collaboration, or providing support as needed to her students. So, with that being said, Miss Lopez her flexibility highlights the effective leaders adjust their approach to meet situational demands, enhancing their impact, particularly to Mrs. Lopez student. Right? Right. Understand? Understood. Understood. So these models highlights that the leader's effectiveness is contingent upon factors like the characteristics of the team, the nature of the task, and lastly, the work environment. So let's have an example. So example, the path goal theory of leadership. So what is this? Do you have any idea of this? What leadership is this? Okay, so let's go to our definition. So the path goal theory of leadership suggests that leaders should adjust their approach to what? Should be directive. So choosing a directive, supportive, participative, and lastly, or achievement oriented style. So basically, the path goal theory of leadership encourages leaders to be flexible, adaptable, and recognizing that their role is to clear path, set clear expectation, and motivate followers in ways that are tailored to the situation. So that is the path goal theory of leadership. And you must remember that it is still connected to the contingency models of leadership. So we must also remember that um, in contingency models of leadership and path goal theory of leadership, the leaders needs to be flexible and adaptable. Okay? Okay. So now, these contingency models of leadership promotes the idea, like I said, promotes the idea that leadership effectiveness relies on the ability to assess and adapt. to varying contexts rather than applying a rigid style across all scenarios. So, that's it. I hope that I am clear enough to you, everyone, and that's the contingency models of leadership. And once again, I am Rhea Cholsey Bilolong, and thank you for listening. The next report is about Fiedler's contingency models of leadership, and it will be discussed by Miss Gabilan. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.
Today, we're going to explore Fiedler's contingency model of leadership. This model is an important contribution to the field of leadership studies and has a significant implication for leadership practice. So, let's start by looking at the situational factors that Fiedler identified. According to Fiedler, there are three main situational factors that determine the effectiveness of a leader. So, first is the leader member relations, task structure, and lastly, position power. So, the first one is the leader member relations. So, it refers to the quality of relationship between the leader and the followers. And next is the task structure it refers to the degree to which the task is clear, structured, and easy to understand. And next is the position power, and it refers to the amount of power and authority that the leader has over the followers. So now let's move on to the model itself. So Fiedler's contingency model suggests that the effectiveness of a leader depends on the combination of the leader's style and the situational factors. So in situations where leader member relations are good, task structure is high, and position power is strong, a task oriented leader is likely to be more effective. So, in situations where leader member relations are poor, task structure is low, and position power is weak, a relationship oriented leader is likely to be more effective. So, in conclusion, Fiedler's contingency model of leadership provides a valuable framework for understanding the relationship between leader style and situational factors. It suggests that leaders need to be flexible and adaptable in their leadership styles, and that organizations need to consider the situational factors when selecting and developing leaders. While the model has its limitation, it remains a widely used and influential model in the field of leadership studies. So, thank you for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and thank you for listening. Bye.